Training's going really great. We're ahead of schedule. I showed up to camp in phenomenal shape. We're getting our rounds in. I have fantastic sparring going so far. My coach, Tim Lane and Keith Trimble, they have an incredible game plan that we're putting together piece by piece, week by week. And my conditioning is, I'm in fight shape now. I'm in fight shape last week. But now it's just game planning, strategy, and taking each piece of the puzzle so we're set for fight night. This fight has a lot to do with footwork because Manny has great footwork. He's a guy who's going to be real shifty in and out. I think he's the master of the in and out, start and stop. So I've got to be able to combat that. I got to be ready for anything. You never know what's going to happen with Manny Pacquiao. The guy has tremendous experience. He's an explosive guy. He's a fast guy. Like I said, he's a start-stop guy. So you got to be ready for anything. I think a lot of his other sparring partners would try and keep up. Other fighters would try and keep up. Other opponents, I should say, would try and keep up and couldn't. I don't foresee that in our camp. We're ready for anything. And I've got great footwork too. So that's a big part of it. I want to make sure that my feet are prepared and ready. My conditioning is there. And we're going to fight 3 minutes of every round. Now we're dealing with southpaw. We got different angles. The right hand is going to be a lot more prominent in this fight too. We've been working on that. And I'm feeling really comfortable using that more in this training camp. We're just scratching the surface, man. We're really breaking through on my potential and working on a lot of new things. And we're gonna bring some real new tools to the show on November 22nd. I think Pacquiao's biggest weapon in this fight is his experience, of course. He's fast, but I'm fast too. He's got good footwork, but I got good footwork too. He's the higher weight class, but I'm the bigger man. But his experience is something that's kind of intangible. And I think this fight's going to come down to intangibles because my intangible is I don't know how to lose, and I find ways to win, which I showed in the Pacquiao fight. So I say it all the time: champions are built on intangibles. There's so many great and talented guys who never won titles, and there's a reason for that, So there's those things that are inside of a person and a fighter and a champion that are different than other guys. So personally, I think it's going to come down to that. Boxing is about control. I control that man in that space. Can't lose.